Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to a new manga review. Today, as you guys already saw by the title, I will be reviewing one of my favorite shoujo mangas of all time. It's such a great manga and it's really sad that it doesn't have a lot of fans or a lot of people that really like it, because it's one of those mangas where they have a very healthy relationship, and I just cannot wait to talk to you guys about it. So without any further ado, let's get started with this manga review. So the manga that I'm talking about is High School Debut. Just a little information on it. If you get the chance to buy the single volumes, just know that there are a total of 12 volumes that were printed, and in this edition that I have, which has a 3-in-1 edition, there's this volume, which is the first one. Second, this is the cover. This is the third volume. This is the cover. The fourth one, and the cover, and the fifth one and the cover. This is the final volume, and it has the volume 14 and 15 that were never published. 13, 14 and 15, sorry. And that's the total of volumes this edition has, which is 5. This being a shoujo manga, it doesn't have a lot of plot to talk about, but it is a very good romantic relationship between the characters, and I feel like with all the shoujo mangas I have read so far, this is the most healthiest relationship anyone could ever read about. It's so great, it's so funny. So let me tell you guys about the story. We follow Joe and Haruna. This is the first time they meet. And so basically Haruna in middle school, she used to play baseball, and that was her main focus throughout middle school, and she never got the chance to have a boyfriend or she never had the chance to put effort into her looks. And so now that she's in high school, one of her goals is to have a boyfriend and to be better dressed. And so one day she goes out to this place where apparently the rumor is that if you go and stand there, a guy, if you're a girl, a guy is going to go and hit on you. And so we basically see her that she's been standing in front of this place for a really long time, and the guys just pass by her. Until then, she hears a group of guys walk past her, and she hears them talk about their friend Joe, who basically says this: "Do you really know what a guy's looking for a girl?" And so she goes after him, and now she falls. And again, that's how they meet. This. Haruna, come on. Anyways, so she then later discovers that this guy goes to her same school, and like in every shoujo, he's the most popular guy in the whole school, and she basically yells this at him. So she wants to get advice from Joe on how to dress better, she wants Joe to help her get a boyfriend, basically. And so Joe's like, "No, I'm not going to help you. I'm not interested." But he sees how much effort and how hard Haruna is trying to make this, like, her get a boyfriend come true. And so he decides to help her, and she basically calls him coach. And that's basically the plot of the story, which at the beginning we follow how Joe is helping her, and he has a hard time because Haruna really has no sense of fashion. And we see Haruna fall for a guy who he's a friend of Joe's, which is this guy. I forgot his name. Fumi. Haruna develops a crush on Fumi, and so that's where things get a bit complicated because Joe has a sister whose name, this is where she realizes she has a crush on him, whose name is Asami. And I'm just going to say it that I don't really like Asami. She's not a very good friend. She's a horrible person, to be honest. She pretends to help Haruna try to get with Fumi, but at the end Asami puts the moves on Fumi. See what I mean? I don't really like Joe's sister. She's not a very good character, not even a very likable character, and I feel like Asami was added to the plot just to create drama, and very understanding that the author did that, but I just really don't like her. I don't like her. And Haruna is such a nice girl. She's your typical happy-go-lucky type of character. And yes, and one of the rules when Joe decides to help Haruna is that they are never going to fall in love for each other. And obviously that's a cliche a lot of mangas follow in romance books, and so we all know that both characters are going to fall for one another, and they are obviously going to get into a relationship. And that's basically the story of High School Debut. We get to see them fall for each other, we get to see them get in a relationship, and we see how they deal with their feelings. One of the things I really liked on this manga is that the characters actually communicate. And at first Joe might seem like a grumpy character, but he's really sweet. He's just a really shy type of character where he has a hard time trying to express his feelings for Haruna, but he tries for her. He tries to express how he feels, just so that Haruna doesn't create a whole story on her head, because that's one thing Haruna has, is that she is very dramatic and very funny, which leads to some misunderstandings. But like I said, these characters have a very healthy relationship where they don't let the misunderstanding grow. They actually talk. They do argue, but the problem gets resolved really easy, and that's one of the things I really like of this manga, which is why it's one of my favorites. And I highly recommend that if you like shoujo manga and you haven't read this, please give it a try. I feel like everyone is going to like this, especially if you're into shoujo, or you like romance and you like comedy and you like slice of life. This manga is such a good one. Please go read it. And yes, overall, if I were to rate this entire series, it would be a 5-star read. I really do enjoyed it. One thing that I'm going to be honest and that I didn't like is that I know why. Here, let me show you. So here in the back it says that volume 13, 14, and 15 were never released, and so the series is completed at 12 volumes, and I now get why 13, 14, and 15 were never released, because I feel like this entire thing was just fan service. Everything that happens between these 3 volumes, it's nothing, it doesn't add anything to the story or to the relationship. It's just, yeah, it's just fan service. It's just filler. It was just a way for the mangaka to make the story longer, because there's nothing new, and it just, yeah, I did not enjoy reading this 3 volumes. So for me, the manga is completed at 12. If you only read the 12 volumes, that's great. It's amazing. Again, a great story. But if you want to read volumes 13, 14, and 15, just know that they're a bit boring, and they do feel a bit repetitive with how the story goes along. I understand why they were never printed. And yes, that would be my review on this. One of my favorite mangas. Please go give it a read, and if you have read this one before, let me know what do you think about it in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and I will see you again in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.